All right. Now, welcome. Now, this is our first episode, and I want to thank you and welcome you to the Bisons Lounge. I'm your host, Bison, but my real name's Noe. Of course, I'm not going to give you my last name. And then I'm with my co-host over here, the sexy, the handsome, but the also disturbed Manuel.
Oh, stop you.
So this podcast, obviously, this is a new thing. This is like my third failed podcast. Probably would be my fourth. So this podcast, just so you know, where we talk about everything, anything, and we will be talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. And as I said, my name's Bison, and a little about me. I'm a technician. I like video games. I love comics. I enjoy the hardcore stuff, if you know what I mean. I've graduated from soft to hardcore, so I'm pretty proud about that.
We're still talking about comics, right?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not
All
talking
right,
about
then.
comics. But that's me, and that's my introduction. And Manuel, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, like you just said, my name is Manuel. I'm also known as AKA Devour Age on all my social media platforms. I own my own business of handyman jobs and so on and so forth. I do from a simple little grass cutting. You call me up, hey, I want my lawn mowed. I got mowed. I got you. Or if you tell me like I want a full blown house just built right here in this plot of land, I got you.
So you're your typical Mexican,
typical
hardcore Mexican.
Pretty much, man. Yeah. Like if anything, I have every single gene that you can think of in that aspect. My interests are video games also. I like comics. I'm not into them as much as my co-host over here. He's like deep into that, very deep, just like the way he likes it.
Yes, very deep.
And but I dabble in there. I like my hobbies would be building too, because I mean I kind of find it interesting, the whole checking out structure and all that good stuff. But for the time being, it's my job.
Okay. Well, thanks for introducing yourself. So me and Manuel known each other since high school, right? I believe.
High school, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. You know, we've seen all of my crazy transformations from being that emo kid to that. What the fuck was that? That preppy kid to that metalhead to the sacrifice to like all the crazy women I've been through my whole life. So he's earned a big badge of honor.
Yeah.
But
take pride in that.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a good while, and we just let's just give this a shot since everybody can pick up a mic these days and become famous. So,
absolutely.
We probably won't be famous. We'll be canceled. I know I'll be canceled. We'll be canceled right away.
In no time. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names, and I'm not going to actually put out there a specific thing they did, but along the lines of Patooey. I hope somebody gets that. Anybody can pick up the mic and just say something.
Patooey? What the fuck are you talking about?
Think about it. Patooey. Instead of saying...
Are you talking about that crazy white girl?
Yeah, exactly.
That crazy fucking bitch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, you see, that's why I was like, you know what? Might as well. I mean, if you could fucking get a bunch of people to follow you about some bullshit Bitcoin that I just found out about the other day, which I found out was like the biggest fucking like
scam,
biggest fucking scam, and of course they're not saying names, but they're true gentlemen. But
I'm pretty sure you guys are smart enough to figure out who we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in. I'll for sure say that. But
for real, man, shit. It's sad.
What's something you want to start off with today, so we give some people some entertainment? Because I'm sure as fuck they don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah, no, they're here to listen to something interesting. I mean, well, it's like we mentioned before. How about we start off with the first bullet point, man? We're both gamers.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we've been for since kids.
Yeah, forever.
So, I mean, with the current events going on right now, games right now coming out. We have a bunch of good ones, but at the same time, dude, I like to dabble in the old shit too.
Like what?
Well, lately, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be like, you're talking about that old thing? I've been playing Subnautica.
What?
Subnautica, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
So, premise of it is you're in space, your ship gets like some kind of malfunction happens to where your ship is coming down, you end up crash landing on a planet that is basically all water. There's some land here and there, but it's all about you're in the sea.
Mm.
You don't know nothing about this place. You go into the freaking water and it's like the game just said, all right, there you go. go out there and be somebody. You start like scavenging things. You start looking around. You see all these weird fish. You start making a scanner and start scanning everything. Start getting information about this freaking planet. But at the same time, and not everything is hunky dory. Just like here on Earth, there's fucking creepy shit inside that water up there, man, and it's fucking insane. That's why I didn't know what to name it earlier. If it was considered a horror game or just a survival game, because you do have to do your basics of eating, drinking, not sleeping. For some reason, they didn't have sleeping in this game, but you can build a bed. Go figure.
You can build a bed?
You can build a bed.
I hate it already. I hate those fucking games. Dude. I hate these games.
I understand that you've never been a fan of those building games.
Yeah, I can't stand those fucking games.
Like, I can tell you right now, you weren't a big fan of Ark.
Hell no.
But I mean, you're living with the dinosaurs, dude. You're trying to survive.
The only dinosaurs I care about is Jurassic Park.
Okay, well, you get to live with all those fucking dinosaurs in Ark. You get to fucking survive every single one of us. Do you think that you can survive Jurassic Park?
No.
Then what the fuck? Why don't you give it a shot in Ark? That's why I love that game. But just like every other fucking online game, it becomes fucking toxic as fuck. Not as toxic as those Call of Duty lobbies.
Those old school back, 07 to like to 12?
Was it 2012?
I believe so. That's when like
Modern Warfare 2 was out.
Was it? No.
No, you don't.
2012?
I mean, that's where I keep on thinking to myself, like, when did the true toxic Call of Duty lobbies come out?
That was back when like Modern Warfare, I believe, started it. So like me, I'm not a Call of Duty guy no more. I used to. I had my era, and I started with World at War.
World at War. Yeah.
That was the one right after where it's based in World War II. And the story behind that, so get this, I hated Call of Duty even in those days.
Yeah.
So we had a friend, I'll call him Tyler.
Okay.
And I remember I was hanging out with him for a week. It was a Christmas break. That whole week, this was still in high school. The whole week off, it was just, doing what we do, fucking play video games, watch a shitload of porn, naked sword fights. Smoking a little bit of that mono green, but he would always play that shit, and I think I'd always be on the PC or I'd be doing something, but he was right because we're in the same room, so he would play that shit religiously, and I hated it, but it got so I started hating it so much, I got curious about it, so I picked it up when I think he jumped on the PC, and I picked it up. And that was it. I was hooked. So after that Christmas break, I went and bought it for back at PS3. Was it PS3? No, yeah, PS3. It was PS3. I remember.
Not 360?
No, I didn't have a 360. Not yet. I had a PS3.
Okay.
But I remember getting it for PS3, and that was it. Like I was hooked to fucking Call of Duty all the way till I want to say Black Ops 2. Yeah, right after Black Ops 2, that was it for me.
I feel like those games started getting a little bit more repetitive after Black Ops 2 because, somebody pointed it out good where they said, like, I don't understand how people got into these games because it was the same premise over and over where, I'm going to shoot this guy in front of me in the middle of this war. And then they made the second game and like, oh, look, I can hold two guns at the same time, but I'm still fucking killing the person in front of me. But I in my head, I'm just thinking like, well, there's also, you gotta enjoy the story progression.
No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah, well, you don't. But I like the story progression of every game. I like to look at the stories. It's an art form. It's a storytelling, man, But I also like the fact that like, now you can customize this. Now you can do that. There's vehicles now, which not too fond of.
I'm not a big fan of the vehicles.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say it right now, and I'm probably gonna get crucified for this, but fucking Halo ruined that for me because all those fucking little dickwads that kept on climbing on banshees.
I was never a Halo kid. Like, so Halo, and sorry to interrupt you, but I don't give a fuck either. But so I remember kids back in that day for Xbox, that first Xbox, that ugly looking console, that ugly bulk of what they called a console. I remember like Halo 1, I remember like everyone was talking about it, and I didn't know what it was either at the time. I just kept hearing the name Halo.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a friend, and Halo 2 had already came out, and that's when the world was. Remember this period. Halo 2 was like peak apparently, and like no one shut up about it. And I remember I finally played it, and I hated it. And I was like, "Who is this guy, Master Chief?" Like, I mean, I don't. He never shows his face. Is that why people love him so much? He never shows his face. Like,
I mean, I don't know, man, because I mean, I lost track after 3. Halo 3, like, you got to play as both one of the good guys and one of the bad guys and shit like that. Then they started coming out with, like, ODST, where you're playing as one of the soldiers.
but that was like overhead, right? Wasn't ODST the overhead one?
No, the ODST is when you were one of the officers that fought alongside Master Chief, which I thought was pretty stupid because so you're going to retell the same story, but from the point of view of one of the soldiers.
Oh, so that's what it was, a different point of view.
Yeah, it was a different point of view, which is why I think it was kind of stupid because I'm like, so you're going to put out a game where you're not the badass? You're watching the badass save the world. You're not saving the world. It didn't make sense to me, but
it's pretty much like a side mission, but they made it a game, pretty much.
That's one expensive fucking side mission because when I bought it was like what $69.99 or something like that. Fuck that.
What the fuck?
It was I pre-ordered it and I got what they would call the special
the deluxe edition, the collector's edition, where they always give you some cheap ass plastic statue and shit.
And all I got was and ODST I got. I think it was if it wasn't Dead Space, it was Halo ODST where they gave you like this ammo crate or something like that, and it had all these goodies like the owner's manual and blah blah blah, the artwork, and like you got the helmet and you got a bunch of crap. I don't know if it was that or the Dead Space one that gave you like the plasma cutter and all that stuff. But
that's my jam, dude. The fucking Dead Space, bro. That's my shit right
there.
Dead
Space was good, man. Like there's
Dead Space was always good.
I think that's another game that was kind of ahead of its time because nobody expected. We were used to the zombies of like shoot them in the head, they're dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or just shoot them enough times in the torso, they're dead. Not with these fucking things. You had to chop them.
Necromorphs.
Necromorphs, dude. You had to chop them up for them to die.
Yeah, you had to get their lims.
Yeah,
you had to get their limbs.
So I mean, I don't know. Like I don't even know where to go from on Dead Space because it itself was a masterpiece, and like the story, the art, the gameplay itself, like. Dude, it was awesome. It was amazing. I loved it. But then we got shit like where, again, something that might get me crucified also, where Heavy Rain. I've never been a big fan of it.
What the hell is Heavy Rain? I've heard the name. What is that again?
So it was basically a story-driven game to where like you do commands for the player to do something. Uh-huh. You'll be controlling different players. You're a detective, you're a father that's looking for his kid, and you're a killer and stuff like that. And throughout the game, you're following each of their stories. And let's say it told you, like, pick up the phone to make a phone call. So you would have to do analog stick movements to where, like, you grab the phone, now flip it over, swipe up to open the phone, and then you had to type in the number manually and stuff like that by poking at the freaking controller.
I hate when they try to do shit like that. Video games, man. Like that whole physics thing. Oh, wow, this is the next big thing. Because that's what, when you tell me that story, that reminds me of Skyward Sword. Zelda.
I love Zelda, but
Skyward Sword was to me like I'm not gonna say a disappointment, but very, I don't know, it felt very recycled because you pretty much start off going through these dungeons and then halfway through the game you end up going back through the same shit. Yeah, so you got to go back in those areas, blah blah blah. But back to my reasoning to bring that up was. So you know how you were saying like you got to use the analog to like dial. So and there for the Wii, so every time you went to a dungeon, you had a key, like just like every Zelda game.
Yeah.
But the key was always some sort of. To me, it was like a Rubik's cube.
Uh-huh.
So like you put it up to the insert to the dungeon room, and you pretty much got to move the Wii remote to fit precisely, and it was the biggest fucking pain in the ass in that game for me. I hated it. Every dungeon.
Was that the same Zelda where you had to go like into this other world where there was these sort of like gods or something that would wake up and then they'd start chasing you and shit like that? Like you had like a little time limit to go and collect all these spheres? But if you either got caught by them or something like that, it was game over.
That doesn't sound familiar.
It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound. Yeah, I don't know. Like apparently, a lot of kids got trauma from it because of the way it sounded. That it just like blasted the music. That you're getting chased by these fucking things now.
No, that doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
Because I don't think it was. I don't think that's part of the what's the new one called? Not Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild. I don't think it was part of that. But I think it was Skyward Sword, where you had to do this little get all these spheres so you can do certain things, but avoid being spotted by the Guardians or some bullshit like that. And I read up that a lot of kids got traumatized by it and would freak out when they would get spotted by the Guardians and shit like that. It was this whole fucking ordeal. But I mean, I played a little bit of the Skyward Sword. I couldn't get into it. Now, was it called Twilight Princess though?
Oh hell yeah!
That was good. But my favorite of all time, Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask
Was my favorite fucking Zelda game. And I mean, that's coming from somebody that played the first Zelda, Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, then fucking Link to the Past, the Four Swords, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Time. Bro, the Four Swords was something else.
Dude, the Four Swords to me was the biggest like mind fuck to me when I played that. Was the Four Swords. There's 4 Links. I thought it was kind of cool when you could hook up another Game Boy and shit for the GameCube back in that day when man, Nintendo was ahead of their time when they did that shit. That's why the GameCube to me was always underrated. The GameCube to me was always underrated.
It was, and I feel like it wasn't like it was. They didn't use the full potential of it. Like if that makes any sense, because I mean, look at everything that you could do. You can connect a Game Boy. Mm-hmm. Of course, it had to be a Nintendo Game Boy, but at the same time, like you can connect it, and guess what? They could play as one of the links.
Yeah,
from 4 Swords, and you can do that for 4 controllers. So back then, when the GameCube era. PlayStation only had 2-player games. Fucking Xbox was the first one to get... No, I'm lying. Because the first game console that I think did 4 players was Dreamcast, wasn't it?
That did 4 players?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 64?
The 64.
64 was before. True. 64 was before Dreamcast.
That is true. So the 64 did the 4 players. Then the Dreamcast came out.
Against the PS2.
Which
killed it.
The PS2 killed fucking what? The Dreamcast killed PS2 or the PS2 killed Dreamcast? Come on, man. Because I mean, I can only name one game that's stuck in my head from the Dreamcast, and that is it. And that was Sonic Adventures.
Sonic Adventures.
That is the only thing.
The last good Sonic game, decent Sonic game.
The last good, yeah. Because I mean, like I played the recent Sonic games, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, they're all shit.
I mean, I let my kids play it, and they love it. Oh, but they don't know Sonic like I.
Yeah, you don't know Sonic like me, kid. No, you don't know, man. So no, I mean, PS2 killed Dreamcast. Dreamcast died immediately.
Yeah, because I don't remember many games from it. Like I said,
I played the Dreamcast actually. I was a Dreamcast fan, and only because my uncle did you say Call of Duty?
Code Veronica.
No, I didn't know about Code Veronica till later, but.
Really?
Yeah, but Dreamcast was my uncle had a Dreamcast, and he had Dead or Alive 2, a game called Killer Toys or something like that. That game was fucking legit, and I still can't remember the name. I'm sure someone who hears this will be like, "Get your facts straight, bro."
Yeah.
But it was pretty much your toys, but like murking each other, and like you could be airplanes and shit. It was like kid friendly. But also, like, not because you're murking, but the one game that is also a staple to, like, gaming history was Shenmue. So,
oh my God. But that was PlayStation, dude.
No, that was Dreamcast. That was Dreamcast.
I could have sworn that was PlayStation.
No, it was Dreamcast. It never came out for PS2. It wasn't a PlayStation game. It was a Dreamcast game. My uncle had that. And it was I remember seeing it, and I was like, "What the fuck, Shenmue? Like, what the fuck is this shit? What are you?" And I remember telling him, "Like, man, I play." He was like, "I played that game, and I don't know what I'm doing." So like, I played it, and mind blown. Like, from what you are, and I'm sure whoever hears this, if you know Shenmue, you know, but you're this guy who saw his dad get murdered at his dojo. It's like a kung fu fighting game, and I'm sure I'm going to say something. I want to say Japan in some small village. And it's pretty much how I could say it was ahead of its time because you start off trying to find out information about who killed your dad because it's just some fucking Lundy or whatever, Landy. I'm looking for Landy. But you go in your small village, and that was so amazing about it. You had it was kind of like Zelda, how you go talk to certain people and they give you information,
right?
And like that's how it goes. And it was ahead of its time in that time. I think it was like I want to say 99 or 2000 in this time frame.
God damn, dude.
And like it goes like you figure out, you start getting info, but then it starts opening up to bigger like problems, like just any of these games these days. Like, and there's side quests. There's like mini arcade games. Like there's an arcade in the village. It's not even a village. It's a little small town. I'm saying village, but like there's an arcade there, and like you could go in there and actually play a game in a game, if that makes sense. Like there was so much side shit to do.
Well, it is Sega. Sega's infamous for that shit. Well, not infamous. They're famous for that shit because it's just like Yakuza. You can do that. You can go to a little arcade and play. You see Sonic Adventure. You see like all of the
child. Exactly. Like yeah, like you're playing video games within the video game.
Yeah.
But back in that time, I was like, "Whoa! Like, this is insane!" I'm playing a video game that's playing a video game.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So I'm not gonna get too much into it, but that was a staple that like I changed my life growing up. I was like, "What the fuck is it?" And then I remember my uncle, because like I said, he didn't know what the fuck to do. He was like, and like I remember him coming because I was staying with him during I think a break. I think it was Thanksgiving break and stuff. And he would just leave me at his apartment while he was fucking bitches. I grew up finding that out once I got smarter. I was like, that's what he was doing. Like,
every girl here every day. That's weird.
No, he would leave. He would leave. Like, he would leave me in his apartment. Like, he would just order me pizza and be like, there's a Sega Dreamcast. Like,
just stay away from the toaster and the tub and you're good.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't use the oven. Like, there's sandwiches in the fucking refrigerator. And but speaking about that, I was fucking bitches. Like I remember one time I was I forgot. I think he took me out to Mr. Gaddy's one day, and he had a neighbor. Dude, it was just fine. I was a kid too. Remember, I was maybe barely entering middle school or in middle school. But man, this woman was fine. And my uncle, I can't remember exactly what he said, but like she was like, "Oh, I'm busy." Like he was asking her out pretty much, and like he was like, "Yeah, but you know, I'd like to get a taste of you." And at first I didn't know what that meant till years later. Nice. And I was like, that pimp. That pimp. Yeah. The crazy thing is now, you know, he's a lawyer now. You know, happily married and all that. And it's crazy just to like, you know, see that how shit changes.
Yeah.
From dumping your little nephew in your apartment while you were over there. God, who knows what else he was doing, but that's about it when it comes to that and the Sega Dreamcast stories for me.
Well, I mean, one question I had about that Shenmue. Damn, I can't fucking speak right now. That's great for a fucking podcast, right? But one thing that I kind of remember is, and this is the reason I say it was for PlayStation. I think it was because of the graphics that it had, and not to mention that wasn't it like timed based or something like that. Like, you only had a certain amount of time limit to, like, figure certain shit out or something like that?
No.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's that one, because on Steam, I got Shenmue 2.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't touched it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's there.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a bunch of games, because Humble Bundles, dude.
Yeah,
Humble Bundles is the best fucking thing on Steam. But if I'm correct, like, that's what I thought about it when I was reading the synopsis on it, that you're figuring out this case, and you're trying to find out blah, 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 what. So you got to go around talking to people, but remember, you only have a limited amount of time. So I'm thinking, like, is the second one like that, or is the first one like that too, or what?
I think there was time limit. I know you were based time limit things. Like, there was things you had to do in a certain amount of time, but it wasn't everything. Okay. But there was those type of, I guess you could say, missions or segments where, like, you had to, like, figure something out in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've always been interested. I've always been interested in that game because even from back in the day, because I've heard about it, never played it, but I heard good things. Like, a lot of people like die by that game. They swear by that game.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, and I can tell because of how like into it you just got, and it's rare to hear you get into a game besides fucking Resident Evil.
Oh, I love Resident Evil.
You had the lore on that fucking game.
I love those games
to the fucking T, dude. Like I don't know, like what got you into it. What was the hook of Resident Evil that hooked you into it so much, dude?
So I remember playing it back in the PlayStation 1, the OG Resident Evil, but I was a kid and I forgot who had it. I didn't have it, but I played and I was too fucking scared to play it.
Really?
Yeah. So a couple years later, and this is why I say the GameCube.
Yeah.
So the GameCube, which I say Nintendo was ahead of their time, they remade the first one. Like updated the graphics and all that, and that's when I got into it because that's when I was older. I was in middle school, because that's when the GameCube was out. And Resident Evil 1 was like, man, you know how people do that? What is that shit called? Where they do time-based speedruns?
Speedruns, yeah.
I was pretty much doing that back in the day, but of course we didn't have Steam and all this shit now, dude. I would every time I beat it, I'd do it again. But I knew every puzzle. I knew which zombie not to kill just to go the faster route. Like I knew which zombies that one's just a waste of time, waste of bullets. These have to be dead or they get in the way.
Yeah.
But I've always loved Resident Evil, and then 2 was okay. I know that's where the fandom is. Everyone preaches Resident Evil 2, and I'm not against Resident Evil 2. I liked Resident Evil 2, but I prefer 3 over 2.
Okay, yeah, because in 3, here's the thing. Resident Evil 1, you got to play as 2 people. Mm-hmm. Resident Evil 2, you got to play as 2 people. Mm-hmm. And then Resident Evil 3, you only got to play as
Jill. Yeah.
I always thought that other dude was playable, that you had to unlock him.
You could only play him during certain segments. Right. But then it goes back to Jill. Yeah.
See, I didn't, because here's the thing. I always thought Mr. X was in Resident Evil 3.
No. It's, what's his name? Nemesis.
Yeah, but I don't remember Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. I don't remember ever getting chased by his ass.
I don't think he was.
Like, that's
the remake.
And see, that's where I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember Mr. X.
I don't remember him either.
Yeah.
But I only played the OG Resident Evil 2 once. Once I beat it, I was done with it. 3, I beat a couple of times. 1, I beat I don't know how many times, but I guarantee it was more than 10 times. And then, you know, while we're at it, let's get into the one that changed the world. Resident Evil 4.
And of course, they picked the correct fucking protagonist.
Of course.
Yeah, dude.
Like everyone says, but...
Because you gotta think about it, dude. Like, I understand, and we're gonna say this for the record, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're a Chris fan. Mm-hmm. And then, as for me, I'm a Leon fan. That scene in Resident Evil 6, where both of them bump into each other, and they're just, like, battling it out. I thought to myself, like, this is what proves that Leon is a certified badass, because Leon has what training?
I don't fucking know.
He has the cop training. He doesn't even have the cop training because he never made it to the fucking police station.
Yeah.
He was just a rookie.
Yeah, he was just a rookie.
And he survived fucking Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
He survived it. And 4. But at that time he already had the training from for like I guess the president being the
he was like his guard or some shit.
Personal bodyguard and stuff like that. Which is why it hits even harder on Resident Evil 6, where he tells Chris. Chris tells him, I lost my whole crew, and Leon goes, and I lost millions of people, including the president.
Well, that shows he sucks at his job.
Think about it this way. Chris has BSAA training. Shouldn't they be the fucking badasses, the top tier badasses that they got special training, military training, with military weapons? So they got some fucking badass fucking notches under their belt.
Hey man, I'm not trying to have a dick measuring contest.
Hey, we're doing this right now, dude. We're doing this right now. Well, I mean, look, let's say this for another time. We'll sit down and have a debate. But that's for me. Leon was my favorite character. Not to mention, also in Resident Evil 2, we got to meet Claire.
I don't give a fuck about Claire.
Really, another Redfield. You don't give a fuck about Redfield. Dude.
She was just the what do you call it? The woman of the game. Jill fucking tops fucking Claire.
Well, think about it. Jill survived, and then Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 1. But then she gets captured by Wesker, huh?
Oh man, yeah, that dynamic duo shit.
Yeah, she gets captured by Wesker and turned into one of his fucking puppets.
Because that's how badass Wesker is.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That if I had to choose a character, Wesker would be it.
Wesker, so like that's another reason why I was a big fan of Resident Evil 1. Because of course, the bad guy.
Yeah,
Dude, Wesker, that fucking bad villain, that dude is epitome of... He's a staple in video game history. He's, to me, I think he's literally the OG of villains in video games. Who can you think who's better than him? And not talking about powers and... I'm talking about just the character.
What he did, what he stands for, and what he does, dude.
But how he is as a fucking character, yeah. Like from his voice to the shades to the trench. It shouldn't work, but it does.
Well, I mean, think about it. He was such a badass that they added him to Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
Not to mention that he's also a killer in Dead by Daylight, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. I forgot about that.
That was the first thing I bought. Like, as soon as I saw that Wesker was... I'm like...
Me too. I bought that fucking... And I never played them yet, but...
Oh, dude. I have so much fun. People get so mad at me that at the end, you know how you put just GG in the little chat box?
Yeah.
A lot of people are all like, you fucking asshole, you didn't leave me alone. I'm like, that's the point
of... It says GG anymore.
I mean, I don't know about now, because it's been a hot minute since I played Dead by Daylight. But, yeah, no, that's what I would do. I mean, like, good game, guy. Awesome. Or if they all won, I'd still say GG. Like, if they all escaped, I need to get better. GG, guys. But when I would be fucking wrecking everybody, just fucking slamming them and putting them on the hooks, dude, I'd have people like, why didn't you fucking let me go? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's the point of the game. I'm a killer. I'm trying to kill you. What the fuck? What do you expect?
Yeah.
But that's how much of a badass he was. Now, one regret that I have is that they never pitted Leon against Wesker.
Because Leon's not that great of a fucking character.
Well, think about it.
Yeah, I am thinking about it.
Think about it.
I am.
He went toe-to-toe with fucking Chris.
Yeah, but who do they put Wesker against? Remind me? What's
Chris
okay,
and
exactly.
Shiva. Or Sheva, whatever you want to fucking...
Yeah, but she's
like,
just she's the woman of that ass. Every time I think of Shiva, I'm like, that ass.
That ass.
That ass. Like, when they first introduced her in the first trailer for Resident Evil 5, of course, before the game came out, you know, their
trailers.
When they first showed her, they showed her ass. Right before they showed her face.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like, so she gets out of the Humvee or whatever vehicle she's in, and she just does that side ass thing where, like, it tilts, you know? Yeah. And then they show her face. Like, that was their introduction of, like, yeah.
Well, maybe they wanted to keep you guessing, like, oh my god, is that Jill or something like that? Or is that Claire? Or, like, who's going to be Chris's partner? Because, might I add, Leon didn't have a fucking partner. He did all that shit by himself. Not even Luis lasted long enough to fucking help him out.
Luis. I hated the remake version of Luis.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I hated how can I put this? How sentimental they made him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean... When you fought Krauser in the original, it was a battle to the death. There was, yeah, you used to be my fucking squad leader, but guess what? You're evil now, and I'm gonna fucking kick your ass for it. And because I got a fucking mission to complete. So you fight, kick his ass, dip out, he blows up. But in the remake, like,
I'm a broken soldier. They forgot about me. Like, yeah, like,
dude, why? But I mean, story.
No, because it's funny you bring that up because, yeah, in the OG Krauser, I remember that motherfucker showing up to the scene. It was like, dude, this dude bleeds red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
This is one of those hardcore fucking Americans right here. And then in the remake, it's just like, he's one of those, like, what do they call it? Heavily depressant soldiers?
Yeah, like he was shell-shocked or something.
Yeah, there you go. And this... Not throwing any shade at anybody who, you know, just throw that out there. We are assholes. We're Americans, goddammit.
America. Yeah, and thank you to anybody that served. I always say that because of them we have all our rights and stuff like that. But talking about game-wise, like he turned into such a depressive person as to where in the original video game, he was just this fucking...
He was a badass
He was a
hardcore motherfucker.
He didn't give a fuck. He was betraying Sadler for the sake of, like, you know, we want this fucking virus. We're going to use it to control fucking the world. Dude. That was just evil mentality. And I believe he was working for Wesker, right?
I believe so. Because he had to, because he was working with Ada.
Yeah. Well, kind
He
of
just
because
didn't like her. That was it. That was the point. He didn't like her.
and in the original, of course, she shows up and he's like, "Well, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress."
Hmm.
But I don't think he says that in the remake.
No,
Like, I think they censored that out.
you
Like,
can't say that. You can't say that no more.
well, we're saying that here. We don't give a fuck. But for me, I just felt that they kind of screwed up on that with making it such a sentimental uh, clusterfuck because even Leon was there. He's like, "Oh no, man, you're my squad leader." Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, no, dude, you leave him. He's like, you know what? He turned evil.
Yeah.
Let bygones be bygones, and walk out just like he did in the previous game, and fucking let him blow up.
Yeah.
I don't, does it blow up, or is there an explosion?
Who?
Or
At the end?
does he die in the explosion, Krauser, or
No,
just leave him there?
so in the original, he
Explodes.
No, it looks like you left him for dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
But no, so then there's Ada's side quest, which she shows up a little after Leon did his part with Krauser.
Yeah.
And he's still alive.
Right.
But then Ada's really the one who kills him. But I can't remember if she just kills him to the point where she loads him with lead, just like Leon did.
Yeah.
Or if, I can't remember precisely, but
Because one of the things that I like, and you always grilled me for this shit, was I can't believe you fucking like Resident Evil 6.
oh, I fucking hate Resident Evil 6.
And I can understand why. A lot of people say like they left their fucking horror roots. Yeah, but I mean, the whole point of Resident Evil 6 too was like you have so many much more mechanics that when you think about it in real life, you should have those fucking mechanics to begin with. Like, how are you not gonna dodge a fucking like people start shooting you? Why aren't you gonna dive out of the way into cover? Instead, you had to stop, aim, make sure the laser pointer is at the motherfucker's head, and shoot him. Okay, those were the mechanics back in the day. When they came out with Resident Evil 6, the fact that I could like, oh shit, zombies are coming, let me dive back real quick so I can get some space and start loading these motherfuckers up. Not to mention that you also had melee. Not just a little knife that you just like jabbed.
That's why I hate Resident Evil 6.
Jab. Like, no, you had like a fucking like, alright, I'm gonna fucking slice at this fucker where it fucking counts. Cause you also had, like in Resident Evil 4, shoot them in the face, they're staggered, what do? You fucking kick them in the face to like knock them back. And you take a couple of them with you, giving you more time to either reload or start fucking lining up shots.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Resident Evil 6, because you had the more of a freedom to like, they gave you a higher chance to be able to survive an onslaught of fucking a horde of zombies. Because Resident Evil 4, at most, you had like how many around you? Like maybe like 5, 6?
No, there'd be times where it was like 8, maybe 10.
10. Like a nice little group, but you also had grenades.
Yeah.
So you can clear those motherfuckers out. If you were smart enough to save the fucking grenades.
So it's funny you talk about the grenades. So I didn't realize it till maybe not too long ago because I still play the Mercenaries on the remake because I'm a Mercenaries fan.
Yeah.
When they brought Mercenaries, that was the game changer for me.
Yeah.
But so the remake has Mercenaries. But what I realized is, so in the OG Resident Evil 4, you remember you had the flamethrower grenades?
Yeah, the flame grenades? Yeah,
Yeah,
the red ones?
they're not in Resident Evil 4, the remake.
What?
The flame grenades aren't in there.
What
The flashbangs and regular grenades.
Yeah, just the green and blue ones.
But not the flames. Not the
really?
fire combustion ones.
Well, I mean, the difference, I would see the difference is that they were like on contact, that they hit something, flames would pop up. Basically like a Molotov.
Mm-hmm.
It made contact with the floor, exploded, and you had a flame barrier to protect you for a while. Especially against those fucking, what are they called? The chainsaw ones? What are they called?
I forgot what they call them, but
Dr.
Dr. Salvatore?
Salvatore or something like that.
Salvatore?
Yeah, like to protect you against those, and then of course against the ones with the dual chainsaws and shit like that.
Oh, those crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah. Not to mention that you also had what they call in the game. I didn't find this out until later on after I beat the game, that they're called the Bella Sisters.
Oh, the crazy bitches. Yeah.
The sisters that came out with the chainsaw, they had wraps all over their face. I'm like, okay, cool. They gave a basic character, a basic enemy, a chainsaw, and they gave him a backstory too. Nice, good job, Capcom.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, it's kind of interesting to me. I wonder if it was because of time constraint, or they just thought like, nah, these things are too OP, or like, who knows, man. But I say that was one of the best games that they had going on for the Resident Evil, was Resident Evil 4. It was the game changer for Resident Evil.
Well, it was a game changer for video games Resident Evil 4 is considered one of the fucking biggest staples in gaming history. They ported it in like every fucking system.
That is true because it was a GameCube exclusive.
It was GameCube, then PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Then it went to Wii, PS3, I believe.
See, I didn't know about Wii.
Yeah, it went on Wii.
I didn't know.
I had it for Wii.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, did you use the nunchuck?
Yes.
What
that was peak. Like, I remember when that shit came out and it was like Resident Evil 4 for Wii and you could aim your gun using the Wii nunchuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that was game changer, dude.
And didn't you get like a little adapter for it too, where one of them was the knife and the other one was a gun?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know there was on the Wii they had I think it was called the Umbrella Chronicles.
Oh yes, I love the rail shooter. That's one of my favorite fucking Resident Evil games.
Good.
Dude, I fucking loved Umbrella Chronicles with a passion.
It was good. But I think they gave you that because you also had like a little nunchuck adapter where it was the knife. It was shaped like the knife.
Maybe they did, but I didn't have it.
Yeah, so I think, man, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of fact checkers. Yeah, get your facts straight.
How are you gonna come on here?
Talk all this good shit.
Yeah, it's like unsubscribed. I never subscribed, but unsubscribe.
I'm just gonna subscribe to unsubscribe. But yeah, no, dude, that game was fucking
subscribe to unsubscribe. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, for real, man.
The channel's dead.
Yeah, it never even started. It's already dead. But for me, Resident Evil games were fucking amazing. And I'll stick by it. Resident Evil 6 was one of my favorites. I like that game. A lot of people gave it a lot of fucking hate, but I like it. It was good.
That's why you're that one guy.
Yeah, I'm that one guy. I'm that 1%.
Right, hey, that one guy, don't invite him.
Don't invite him.
Why? He seems cool. He likes Resident Evil 6. Oh.
Castrated.
Burn him! He's a witch! He's a witch! Burn him!
But, let's see. So, that was a staple. Let's see. 5, a lot of people knew. A lot of people actually.
I loved 5. I loved 5. 5 was good.
A lot of people
5
to
was
this
good.
day still play it. Like a lot. I see it on Twitch a lot too.
So when 5 came out, well, not when it was out, but of course they had the Mercenaries, but it was online now. Fuck, that was my jam, dude. I used to go online all the time, and then they brought in the what is it, 2 versus 2? Or, you know, you're partnered with whoever online, and you're up against 2 other people online, and they're partners, and it's whoever could stack the most points.
Okay.
So you're in the same village, it's like whoever stacks the most, which was fun. And then they had the verses where you could kill them, and you could kill that other squad while they're there in the same map you are to help you get points and all that. It was a versus thing.
So you would kill them and they were out, or they?
No, they come back. They just respawn. But of course, if you kill them, that reludes all the shit they picked up, like ammo and stuff. Because in Mercenaries, it's a never-ending kill thing.
Yeah. And then the more kills, the more combos.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, combos is what makes the points.
Yeah.
Combos is what's getting you your points.
That's true. That is very true. Shit. And then, of course, I think the points even got you time also. I don't know if the version.
Yeah. If you combo good enough, but it was really the melees. So if you melee someone, it'd give you like 5 seconds or like 10 extra seconds. Yeah. But you, of course, stack it up. There's times if you, like me on Resident Evil 4, I don't even do the times no more, getting the times, because I'm just stacking up the combo seconds, kill after kill after kill after kill, and it just breaks it. It breaks me out of the whole, like, oh shit, I need more time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that game on VR itself, dude.
I played a little VR, and that shit was OG.
Yeah.
That shit was OP as fuck, dude.
It was fun.
No, it is fun.
It was fun.
But I was busting a sweat, dude. I was like, damn, dude, people who do this shit for hours have to be in some type of physical peak performance.
I mean, if my fat ass could do it, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can do it. But I mean, still, like, it did. And I like the fact that my freaking my headset says, like, you just lost this many calories. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it tells you that too. And it wants to remind you.
It wants to remind you.
It wants to tell you.
Fat ass and
it's like,
come
on, get yourself up there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's also a leaderboard of how many calories you burn and shit.
Oh,
like
what
that.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Leaderboards for that? Damn, now they're really trying to fucking throw you up against people. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You can burn some calories.
Oh, I got you. I got your calories right here, man.
That and to change the subject just a bit is that's what I hear about the Peloton. You know what I'm talking about? It's that bike thing.
Oh, the Peloton.
The Peloton.
Yeah.
Where like you could pretty much like link up with other people on there and like race them digitally. I was like, dude, like put me on that shit. It's down. It's going.
Fucking turn into David Goggins and shit.
Who's gonna carry the boots?
That's some crazy shit. Because I heard that too. Because it actually has Wi-Fi on it, and like it'll take you like when you're doing the whole bike thing, it'll take you to like these little routes and stuff. But as you're riding, it'll tell you, all right, you've gone these many miles. You've done nothing but downhills or uphills, whatever, and it gives you the resistance on the bike also, from what I've heard. And then the amount of calories, the miles that you do, it puts it into a leaderboard and it tells you like this person's above you. You think you can beat them? So next time that you're fucking doing that thing, you want to fucking push it even more, which is good because I mean it's always good to have a little healthy competition when it comes to like doing workouts and shit like that.
Yeah, of course.
That's why when I saw that like it was counting my calories on Resident Evil 4, I'm like, what the fuck for real? Like, goddamn, let me check the leaderboard, dude. I was like at the bottom.
You're at the bottom.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to start like lifting a fucking dumbbell or something.
Who's that top player, Mr. Fit 69?
Loves to uber smooth.
But how do you even go about, because so like I said, this podcast we cover everything and we've been talking about video, which I'm not against, of course, but back to the Peloton, whatever. Man, I heard those things are like $5,000 or some shit like that.
Easily, dude.
And it's crazy. I'm like, $5,000.
I mean, and that's why there's sometimes that joke. Yeah, you can get a fucking burger for $10, but a fucking dumbbell costs you $50. Fuck that shit. Like, you know, but it I guess it just takes that whole, like the dedication that you have to like your physical health, the way you look and all that stuff.
Yeah, by how much you spend.
Yeah, exactly. Also, because I mean, I see you have your whole setup here, dude. You have the cage, you have the freaking bench, you have the Olympic bar, all these weights.
And it just sits there collecting dust?
Well, I mean, you work, dude. You work a lot, dude. I mean, I work a lot also, but I'm pretty sure there's times that you're like, I gotta hit the grind. I gotta jump in the garage.
The grind. That's such a funny word to me these days.
The grind.
Everyone, the grind. Hit the grind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, does it though? Yeah. It's just a word to me. Hit the grind. You mean work?
Work.
You mean work?
Work. I mean, back in my day, we used to call it work.
Back in my day, my grandpa called it work. He didn't come home telling my grandma I just hit the grind.
She look at you like, what are you, stupid?
The grind cracks me up. Such a fucking term these days. And to get on that subject, since we talk about everything, the male, what do you call that shit these days? The male era of masculinity?
Masculine era or something like that. I don't know. It's something like you got to have your masculinity in tip-top shape.
You got to be alpha.
You got, yeah, dude. I hear that word getting thrown around a lot, and it makes sense of how they portray it. But at the same time, like, you're a man, be a man. Just do your thing, man. Like, you just be you.
Yeah, exactly.
Do what you have to do.
You gotta, like, from what I'm hearing, it's like you gotta make fucking like millions of dollars, which I'm not against, of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm totally for. Like I said, like with me being my own boss and stuff like that. Days off aren't good.
Yeah.
You know, because that means I'm not making money at that moment. And how can I explain it? It's kind of like at the tip of my tongue where I can say, you're not working, but you got time, then you should be working.
You make the time. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you ain't got the time, you make the time.
You make the time, because I'll be back.
Because I'll be back.
Fuck, yeah, dude. But no, dude, like a lot of people do recommend that Peloton thing, but I mean, $5,000, dude.
That's a lot for a fucking bike.
Yeah.
You know, you could get a regular bike for like maybe $100-$200.
Yeah, and sometimes even go on Marketplace and just get it for $50 or $20.
I used to be one of those people that used to ride in the park in a bike.
Really?
It was pretty fun. Huh. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like your social life went up a little bit because you bump into other people. You know?
No, I never talked to those people.
Fuck them people.
Pretty much, like fuck those people. No, I'm just joking. Some people, there were some cool people, some cool cats, but then you get those people that are like, so, what are you about? You know, those people that it turns into like some type of fucking like group orgy and shit. Not that I ever attended, but I was like, I know what's going on here. You ain't gonna trick me.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get me today, Satan.
It's crazy. It's just like my associate, aka my girlfriend, but I consider my associate. Like, so she's gotten into the gym because of me, just because like she used to be one of those people that worked out, but all she did was walk.
Right.
So I remember,
nice little healthy cardio.
yeah, if you call it that, because you walk everybody walks every day.
True.
Unless you're one of those crazy obese fucking people that don't fucking walk.
I know, that just got the scooters.
But your regular person
yeah.
walks every day. So it's like, don't get me wrong, an extra walk, fine. But essentially your body gets used to it. But anyways, besides that, like she's gotten into the gym because of me. I've gotten her into it, and good for her.
Right.
And I throw it in her face because I'm like, you'll remember me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you'll remember me. You'll remember me. I made my staple.
Yeah.
But she tells me too. She's like, man, I didn't know like people fucking like hook up there. I was like, yeah. Like at the gym. Yeah, man. You know how many times like I've had like, I'm not trying to sound like no player or anything, but fucking like chicks like try to like hit me up and shit, like, or bend over right in front of me.
Oh, I feel like sometimes that's a trap.
It is a trap.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to look around. Also, if there's a fucking video camera, you got to be careful.
Man, every time a girl's done that shit to me, I immediately turn away.
Yeah. No, of course. You have to. Because it could turn into something bad. It could turn into something good, but it's fucking in the low percentage. But it also could turn into something bad in the aspects of like, well, why are you looking at me? You fucking pervert. Like, like, next thing you know,
he touched me.
He touched me. Bitch, I'm on the other side of the fucking gym.
Like that one video, I don't know if you ever seen it, where it's on YouTube too. It's like a famous, it's not crazy famous, but it's known, where there's this girl taking off her shirt, but it's like she has like, I think it's one of those training bras or whatever. And there's a guy in the background, and he turned out he worked there, and she thought he was looking at her, but he wasn't. Right. He was a trainer, like training people. I think he was looking at his other clients, because he was with a client, but watching his other clients.
Right.
And she's also recording herself, which, seems to be the big thing these days.
Of course.
But, she turns around, she's like, you like what you see? And like, he looks like, and you could tell he wasn't looking at her. As soon as he's like, what? You talking to? Yeah, like pretty much, he's like, what? Excuse me? She's like, you look at, you got a problem? Like, you like what you see? And like, she's like, I don't appreciate you looking. He's like, I forgot exactly what he was saying, but he pretty much got her gym membership, like, taken. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I know the video you're talking about, because when she noticed that they just glanced over real quick. But I mean, the gym is full of mirrors, so sometimes you gotta look towards that area and you'll see like the mirrors and yada yada.
Yeah.
You see other people. But from what I understood from the video, I don't know, I can't make the assumptions either. She just like looked at them and she's like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "What? Excuse me, what are you talking about?" And then she's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "No, I'm just saying." That's what I thought. So she basically kind of instigated a fucking fight.
Yeah,
you know. So of course, with the guy being one of the freaking workers, they're like, "Oh, well, I mean, if you want to get kicked out, you can leave."
Yeah,
no, that's not gonna happen. And like, we'll see.
She got kicked out.
She got kicked out. She had her gym membership revoked.
She got a taste of her own medicine.
Pretty much, dude. Because I mean. What's the point? I don't understand. I mean, I guess it's for the clout of the fucking video, of like making it like, oh, gym creeps and stuff like that, which is a major thing nowadays, where if somebody's like, they even make jokes about it. They make memes where like, if you're walking around and there's a camera, you look around real quick, there's a bunch of chicks, and you're just like, you know what? Let me just get down on my knees and put my hands behind my head and wait for the cops. So basically, that's the meme of it. That's the joke of it, because it's what happens a lot. Oh, this guy looked at me, when the guy really just walked by, glanced, and looked away, and kept going on his fucking day.
There was one time, and this was when I was working out at Gold's. Well, I still work at Gold's, but this was a different Gold's I used to work at. There, I was on the Stairmaster, and I remember this one girl walking, and this chick, what she was wearing was a one strap, if you want to call it training bra, whatever, it was like one strap, just one strap, not two.
Yeah.
That looped across like a training bra, but like left that, what do they call that? Where the
cleavage?
That left the cleavage, but it was a big fucking gap, like a big gap of cleavage.
Yeah.
This chick had the audacity to come to this gym and work out like that. I looked at her not because I was interested, but I was like I wanted to go up to her and tell her like, what the hell are you doing? Like, do you not know what you're wearing? I know you cannot walk here and lie to my face and say you did not wear this to catch eyes.
Yeah.
To catch eyes.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of them will fight you on it and say like, no, I did this for myself.
I came to work out.
Yeah, as in fucking wear workout gear. Like, what the fuck?
And it's crazy. So like, to stay on the subject of another time, this other chick. So that same gym I used to work at, I used to be in a group back in the day on Facebook for that Goats gym. It was for everybody that went there.
Yeah.
So there was one time I was in the sauna. Because I usually end my workouts in the sauna because I love fucking the sauna. It's fucking good.
Yeah, no, that's fucking
But
awesome.
there was one time this girl came in and she got all sweated up and she was wearing pink. So like I went in there and I did my thing and then I left. So like I said, I was in a group thing. So I always got alerts and stuff because I don't know, back in that day I used to like be part of that group thing of like members because I saw these people on a daily.
Yeah.
But that same girl, she was the alert. She had posted, just got done doing a 2-hour workout. She was all sweated up, but just fucking lied. All she did was go to the goddamn sauna and fucking get out and take a picture and say she worked her ass off. And I was like, bitch lying. This is how they get you, gentlemen. This is how they get you.
And it's funny because I like when I used to go to Golds and like you just said, like that sauna, dude, it's fucking amazing. I always found it weird, and I was always on alert going in there. And then there was a female there. I'm like, dude, I hope there's like no cameras or she's not on her phone fucking recording. I don't want to get caught up in some video where like, oh, this creep came in here with me in the sauna. What an asshole. You know, that sort of type of thing. So I was always very fucking skeptical. Like, should I go into the sauna? You know what? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. And I'd go in, sit in there for a couple of minutes, get out, shower up, dip.
Oh, you're one of those people that shower there?
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. Because I mean, like, I don't know. I never felt comfortable being all that sweat, having all that sweat, and then getting into my car, and then just having all that sweat on my seat and shit.
Yeah, you know, I think about that. I tell myself that, but I still do it.
Yeah. See, but that's just me. That's more, like, I don't know if you want to call it like some kind of like
pet peeve.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you can call it that because I would shower, change into my work clothes, go to work, and if it was after work, change into just comfortable, casual clothes, and go out and do what I had to do.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't want to be walking around all fucking sweaty because I nothing against people that do, but I mean, walking into like a store and you're in your gym clothes, you just worked out, you kind of release some kind of musk. And, you know, I don't want to be that guy that's walking around that like people just making faces at because damn, that dude stinks or something, you know? So that's just my own personal peeve. But yeah, no.
It's funny because I have another story about that too. So there was one time when I was, same gym. I was working out with my partner at the time. My trainer, I guess you could say. We were working out, and this guy was leaving the gym, and he was sweating, like he was drenched. This guy, so he left, and this one girl who was next to us, we were doing squats, and she was on the rack next to us. She just she just said it, like she was like, "What a sick fuck, getting in his car like that," and like, god damn, like. And like I didn't agree with her. I was just like, damn, like yeah, like damn, like this motherfucker just fucking put his heart and soul in this fucking place, and like this chick just put him, like, of course he didn't hear.
Yeah.
But I was just like, god damn, savage.
Yeah.
And she didn't do shit either.
And I remember, the funny when you say savage, because it kind of reminds me of like when I started going to the gym, like the beginning of my workout journey and stuff like that I really need to get back into. I was going with, at that time, a buddy of mine, good friend. He was training me and stuff like that and helping me out, like, you know, my freaking squats, deadlifts, and all that stuff. And then I have a lot to thank him for. But yeah, when I would go in there, I always thought I was going to get looked down upon. Look at that guy. He's probably just here to fucking like whatever, fuck off or whatever, putting in the work. But everybody was so fucking encouraging, dude. There was not a single soul in there that would just talk shit or look at you wrong or no. Everybody was very inviting, which kind of gave me like, I love that gym community, dude. Like where you get there and my buddy would always say hi to everybody, even if you didn't know him. Like, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going, guys? Like, hey, good to see you. Yada yada. On the way to the fucking locker room, just saying hi to everybody. Granted, it was fucking 5 a.m. So
yeah.
I think that's for me. When I went in the morning, that's when everybody was just there. Like, I'm here to work out. I'm here to fucking just do my thing and leave.
Yeah.
When you're there in the afternoon, it's people taking pictures, camera phones all up and shit like that. Like, I prefer the morning now. I'm not a morning person, but the morning's the time for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was very inviting. It was very like everybody. Hell, I even got some like wrist straps for free from one of the guys. That's like, hey, I just bought new ones, man. Do you want these? I really don't use them. I washed them already and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, sure. Gave me his wrist straps. He had his new ones from freaking Cerberus. Dude, those were fucking sick. But I started using those on my workouts. I had like new gear. Awesome. I'm going to start using these. I started using them for my freaking squats, for my bench, all that stuff. And then like next thing you know, bought myself a nice belt. What do they call them? The lifting belts. Yeah. Lifting belts. And then somebody goes like, hey, do you want some knee sleeves? I'm like, oh shit. Well, yeah, sure. Totally. I'll take the knee sleeves. You got new ones? Yeah, I got some new ones. Blah, blah, blah. Here you go. He gave me some Cerberus knee sleeves. Put those suckers on, dude. Made a total difference in my squat. Helped me out a lot. When I looked them up online, I'm like, what the fuck? These things are like, what's $100?
They're probably name brands.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cerberus itself is like, the smelling salts from Cerberus are fucking like $40.
I never done smelling salts, to be honest with you. I never done any of them. The closest thing is fucking, what do you call it? The shit you take for the energy. Pre-workout.
Well, the only time I would do smelling salts was when I was going to do the heavy lifts, because what my buddy was teaching me was powerlifting.
Yeah.
So powerlifting is that hopefully, like, if there's somebody that can correct me, go ahead. But from what I understand, bodybuilding and powerlifting are different in the aspects that when it comes to bodybuilding is like you're chiseling out your body.
You're building muscle.
You're building muscle, exactly, to where like you're chiseled out and everything like that. So you're doing high reps, moderate weight.
Yeah.
When it comes to powerlifting, you're doing moderate reps, high weights.
Yeah.
So I kind of started finding all that stuff out, and I always found it interesting. So when I started seeing all this stuff and all these people giving me things, like being like very supportive of me, asking me like, hey, so how's your squat game, or how's your overhead game and stuff like that? Oh, well, I've been kind of struggling on this. Oh, no, man, you got it, dude. I got you. Like, hey, let's go do some right now. They'd be right there spotting me. They'd give me tips and all that stuff. I mean, this is basically me like saying like, wow, like the gym community was totally different from what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you got those outliers that are like, you know, that are just there to talk shit.
Yeah.
But still, dude, everybody was wearing.
Yeah, I've come across a few number of those fucking dudes.
Yeah, dude.
It's always dudes.
Yeah.
It's never really chicks. Well, I'm sure they do, but they do that with other chicks.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Because I've seen those gym creep videos and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, I kind of cringe at it. I kind of cringe at it when people post videos like that. Look at this guy doing something stupid. Like,
oh, where they're like fucking recording you don't even know?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I wonder how many times people got me on that shit. I'm always like, I'm waiting to see my video. Where am I? Am I the creep, or am I the guy that like...
What the fuck's he doing?
Yeah, what's he doing? Who is this?
And that's what I always thought. I always thought somebody's going to catch me on a video where like, look at this guy fucking, I don't know, bailing on 200-pound bench and shit like that. You know, like
the big debate about that's the thing these days. Where it's like, if you don't lift this much and blah blah blah, you're not a man, or like even the chick thing I seen is like, you shouldn't date a guy who's fucking lifts under this, like, or
can't lift as much as you and stuff like that. I'm like, somebody doesn't know biology, but cool.
Shit. I mean, these fists are quick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I believe in equal left and right. But yeah, no, like that's pretty much my thing. Like, I was very, very surprised with like how inviting the gym community was, dude. Very inviting.
I like the gym community. I mean, I get my people too. You know, I've come across a good amount of people that, you know, showed me things, and I had people still tell me I'm a mom. I had a guy the other day last week. I'm not the guy who likes to brag about what he lifts and stuff, and I'm nowhere near these dudes on YouTube. Because first of all, I don't take juice. I'll tell that. People think I do, but I don't. And I'm not against people who do. Okay, let me throw that out there because someone's going to say something. Someone's gonna say something.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, how's it feel how's it feel knowing Larry Wills could squat your shoulder press weight like
with one arm tied behind
one hand tied behind his back? Like, well, how's it feel sucking his dick and you don't even know you exist?"
Nah, dude. Like I used to follow a bunch of those what do they call them, strongmen, and a lot of them were sponsored by Cerberus too. So I guess that was the technique that Cerberus did. Like, oh, we sponsor strongmen, so if you use our shit, you'll be a strongman.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
And they got me.
The labeling.
Yeah.
They label you with a specific group.
Yeah, and they got me. But I mean, sometimes one thing that kind of got me also was the documentaries on like the guys, the strongmen in Muscle Beach in California and stuff like that. There was apparently this gym that was nothing but strongmen, dude. And there was this guy that was a total dick that when somebody new came in and they were doing their warm-ups bench, they were warming up with I think like 150 pounds or something like that on the bar. And this guy just started punching the fuck out of his knees, telling him to get that weak shit out of here and fuck you and stuff like that. Shit. Yeah, me and my buddy saw it on a documentary, and he just started beating on them, fucking him up, like while he was lifting the fucking weight. Which you don't fucking do that, dude. Like, that fucking thing falls on his chest, it crushes him.
I mean, I've seen videos enough where that shit happened. That shit sucks, dude.
Yeah, no,
or for pec tears.
Oh, fuck,
God, dude, that sucks, man.
Or that guy that his guts dropped. Well, he was doing a squat.
Jesus.
When he was down, he said that all he felt was just his stomach drop.
Oh, God.
And like, he didn't know, but he was stuck. So when his friend like told him like, hey, do you need help? He's like, dude, I can't get up. I feel like something dropped in my body. When the buddy went behind him to see he was wearing a unitard, it ripped, and from his ass, something was protruding. They called the ambulance, and he had to stay like that with the fucking like weight. And when the ambulance got there, they told him like, dude, those are your intestines. They're about to pop out of your ass.
Jesus Christ.
So they had to give him pills to not fart. They had to take him to the ambulance in that stance. In that stance. And when they got him there and they put him on a stretcher, he said that the moment that he laid down, he felt pain, just pure excruciating pain, dude. They had to operate on the dude and rearrange his guts inside his fucking body, dude.
Like, how do you go about that though? Like, taking him in the ambulance and the people that are in the back with you, the medical assistants or whatever, how do they go about that? Like what do they think? Like, what do we do? Like, you can't lay him down.
The fuck? I just see a guy shitting out his intestines from his asshole. What do we do? What is there a code for this? Like, what the fuck do we do? But according to like the little post that they had made, he had to like, in that squatting stance, he had to make it all the way to the hospital because they were scared that he was gonna fart his fucking intestines out.
God dang, what a way to go.
Yeah, no shit. But nah, he made it. He made his.
Oh, that's good.
He made it. They operated on him. They rearranged his guts into where they were supposed to be, and they hope for the best. And the guy's doing good. Is he gonna squat that fucking shit again?
No,
fuck no, dude. I think he was out of commission after that.
I would think so.
Yeah. Because I mean, not only that, the fucking trauma that you get from it, dude. Fuck.
Well, that reminds me of that one video, one of the fucking ones that where this girl, she's on a Smith machine and she's a little thing, like a twig. Not a twig, but thin. Petite.
Yeah.
Petite girl. I don't remember how old she was, but she looked like she was teenager to like in her early 20s. And she was on a Smith machine and she loaded 405. That's 4 plates each side.
Yeah.
4 45s each side.
Yeah.
And the camera happened to be right above her. Not literally above, but like maybe like 2 feet away from where she's, at an angle. So it was a perfect camera capture, but a bad fucking situation, a horrible situation actually, a deadly one. So what happened was she got right under there, and there's a video too. She got right under there. As soon as she let go of that Smith machine because they have hooks, Smith machines.
Yeah.
As soon as she let go, fucking crushed her. Like, it wasn't like she got it off the hooks in like that split second or like a second of like, oh shit. No, it was like instant, like fucking crush.
But like, did she fold or did she just like fucking like?
She just
turned to shit.
She turned to shit.
What the fuck?
It's like getting a big not an armoire. What the fuck's that thing? The iron thing?
Anvil,
and just dropping it dead center on her head, and it just flattens her.
Oh, dude.
Like, just flattens her.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that, dude. That's a fucking way to go,
That
man.
is a way. That's
Oh,
one of them.
dang.
Damn, that's one of them.
I don't even know how to react to that because that's fuck, dude. That's terrible, man. I mean, I've seen people call some bodybuilders stupid, and I mean, I'm against that because these dudes are busting their ass. They're pushing their limits to like get to a certain plateau that they want to be at,
They're
and they'll be doing
addicts.
like a squat or something, and as they're pushing, they start bleeding from their
That's
noses.
happened to me a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's happened to me like once, but that was when I was trying to push a PR, and like, I mean, I thank God that I freaking made it and it didn't get crushed. But a lot of people are all like, "Oh, this is stupid. Why do they do this to themselves?" It's fucking. You want to better yourself. You want to
Yeah.
make yourself stronger. But
It's to challenge your
yeah,
human potential, I guess you could say.
yeah, absolutely, man. But I don't know, dude. That was actually a fear of mine when I was like, working out with my buddy because like I always had that in the back of my head, like, what if I lift this and it's too much for me? Am I gonna get crushed? Am I gonna
Yeah.
break? Like, but my buddy was always there helping me out, man. Like, and if you ever listen to this, you know who you are, dude. I appreciate every step of the way. But dude, when it comes to that, dude, you either commit or you fucking
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a journey. I can say that. It's a
absolutely.
journey I'm tired of as well, but I still do it.
You kind of have to at this point. I heard you start getting flappy and shit, like all flabby and shit, like over around like where your muscles are and stuff
That's
like
if you take roids. Like if you
that.
get roids and like you like there's a few I can't remember their names, but there's a few like big timer pros that were on gear. Like we're talking like monster fucking dudes, monsters, that Mr. Olympia
Oh
monsters.
shit. Okay.
Like up there with Arnold and Dorian Yates and yeah, anyways, yeah, like when they get off gear and they just completely stop working out, they're like flabby as fuck,
Oh
dude. Like
shit.
it's fucking, it's like a god. It's a way to go, I
Or
guess.
I guess so, because I mean, I wouldn't like. That's why I would never juice, dude. Like, I would never fucking.
I thought about it, but I never done it. I know a good number of people that do, and they preach the Lord about it, but they're also addicts.
Oh,
Addicts meaning they're addicted to it.
wasn't there a guy that died from it though?
Oh, there's a good number of guys that died from that shit already.
But this guy, he was like doing it, and then he got to the point where he was an addict, and when he stopped, he was having withdrawals, and eventually he died because it was just too much for his body.
Yeah, that's happened to a lot. That's happened to Rick Piana. That's happened to Dallas. I forgot what his last name was, but he went by Dallas. And then there's a few people already that it's happened to. It's because of that. A lot of it's that thing where no one's saying that's what it is,
Yeah,
but everybody knows what it is.
it's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
it's
kind of
it's
crazy.
it's a way to go, but it's like I said, it's because they were addicted. They didn't want to stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like working out at one point, I remember when I was doing it like daily and stuff like that. There was a part of me that like I gotta go work out. I gotta go fucking pump some
Yeah.
iron, dude. Because apart from it being fun, having good company and stuff like that, it just felt like I wanted to strive. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. One of the reasons I went to my buddy to work out with him, and I told him like, dude, I want to become faster. I want to be more fit. It was because of a story of like this kid that was ripped out of his parents' arms while they were walking in a park. This dude ran up behind them. It was a family of three, father and a mother, and they had their son in the middle.
Hmm.
And as they're walking, enjoying their day, this guy runs up behind them, picks up the kid, and rips him out of their arms, and takes off running with the kid.
Damn.
For some reason, the dad said that like as I tried to run after them, I couldn't keep up with this guy.
Yeah.
So the guy makes it with the kid. The kidnapper makes it with the kid all the way to a van that was waiting for him, and takes off with the kid, dude. And the father was distraught. He's like, I couldn't catch up. I couldn't fucking make it. Granted that apparently the dad was a runner, like a professional runner. Like he would go out for runs, do marathons and stuff like that. He couldn't keep up. So they kidnapped his son. They searched him for, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks. They found him, but it was already too late.
Yeah.
The kid was already traumatized for what they did to him and what they were going to do to him because I think they were getting him ready for organs to take them out. But of course, you have those evil people out there that do other things to kids that I really don't want to mention, and I don't wish it, and not even the worst enemy, dude.
Oh, well, we could say Diddy.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, but I mean, when I saw that story, and I mean, I have my two kids. I always thought to myself, like, dude, what if I was in that situation?
Yeah.
What if that ever were to be the thing for that day? I want to be able to fucking either fight a motherfuckers off and save my kids, or be able to catch up to the motherfucker, give him the beating of a fucking lifetime, and save my child. You know? So like that's why I'm a big. As you can see right now, I carry everywhere I go, man, because the world is fucked up, man. Shit that goes on out there is fucked up at the moment, man. So
I don't even think the world is fucked up. I think the world's been fucked up. It's just we have social media now. So everyone posts everything.
True.
All this shit's been happening before.
Very true, very true. It's more out there.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's more out there.
But I know that's true why too. I mean, that's why and I'm not saying it is the end of it, but that's why serial killers aren't a big thing as much anymore because everyone has a smartphone.
True.
Like back in the day, if someone got stolen, so even if they got stolen with people around, like nobody in that era had smartphones where they could be like, hey, I think I saw something suspicious or take a picture.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, it was like, you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
You're screwed.
And it's crazy you bring out, so there's this story, because I'm not as much as I used to be, but I used to be a big time true crime listener. And there's this one story where this one girl, she was like in her teenage years, she got kidnapped. And they never found her. But she got kidnapped, they couldn't find her, they did a search, blah, 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 all the basic shit. I think a few towns over or a few states over, there was a lady who was at a grocery store and there was a van parked next to her, but the van had left already. Like they left right when she was coming from grocery. Like she was pretty much putting her shit in her vehicle. Mm-hmm. But when they left, a picture fell out from the van, and it was like those Polaroid pictures. Yeah, there was a picture of that girl and a little boy tied up.
Oh, damn.
And she took it to the police, and the family and everyone confirmed that was the daughter. No one knew who the little boy was.
Yeah.
But they knew that was the daughter, the one that was missing from a few, like I said, it's either a few towns or a few states over. And they never found her.
Oh, shit.
They never found what happened, blah, blah, blah. But it's one of those stories where like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, it kind of gets you too. Like you kind of think about it like, holy fuck, dude, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
Because there's a similar one, except that this one was found, but she didn't know she was kidnapped. It's crazy, dude. So she got kidnapped as a baby.
Uh-huh.
And when they kidnapped her, she didn't know she was kidnapped because the people that kidnapped her pretended to be her parents.
Uh-huh.
So her whole life, she believed that her kidnappers were her actual parents, and she grew up until somebody like spotted her and said, like, hey, you look like this person that I know from this other place. Are you related? No, my parents are these and these. And then she's all like, well, no, this is your parent. This is who I think you look like. And they showed her a picture of her actual mom, and she's like, holy crap, that's like my splitting image. So something ain't right here. So she goes and tells her parents, I'm doing quotations so for the listener, to her parents, and she says like, do y'all know who this person is? Which caused them to go into a panic and says, we need to move.
Yeah.
Which caused the daughter, okay, in quotations, to say like, okay, something ain't right here. So the person that told her that she looked like a certain person went to the police, told them what she saw, and they're all like, hold on, who are the parents that you're talking about? She shows them the picture. She's like, these parents got their kid kidnapped years ago. I think they said like 20 years ago.
Jesus.
So they start doing the whole manhunt. They find those people and they tell the daughter, like, those aren't your parents. They kidnapped you as a baby. These are your real parents. And as she said, apparently in the interview, she said, like, the moment I saw my real mom, I felt the connection.
Oh.
I felt it. So she was one of the lucky ones that actually gets found, you know?
So pretty much adoption.
Pretty much is what happened. A forced adoption.
A forced adoption.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But like, I mean, it had a happy ending, but it had a horrible story, dude.
Well, there's this other one, and this one, I think I know it wasn't in the States. It was UK, Germany, or somewhere out there. There was a guy who built a shed, a pretty big shed in his backyard, and he was married. He had a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was he built this shed, and then one day he had his daughter go in there to help him. I forgot what the story was, but to help him finish up whatever in the shed. He locked her in there. He locked his daughter in there
Uh-huh.
and had her in there for 20 something years. And he was, raping her and got her pregnant like 2 times. I think a third time, but that one, a baby died. But the way, and it's a real story, and I don't know the case of it, but the way this dude got caught was one of those kids, not the daughter, because the daughter was already in her 20s.
Yeah.
Remember, he had her out there in this shed for her whole life.
Yeah.
And these other kids.
Yeah.
They never once came out.
Right.
So what got him caught was one of those kids got sick, and the daughter was like, no, we need to take her to a hospital because she might die, blah, blah, blah. And he fell for it. So he took the kid to the hospital. And when they got there, they're doing the treatment and stuff. But then the people who work there, they were like, hey, who is this? You're saying it's your daughter, but who is she? Because there's no records of her. She has no fingerprints. Like there's nobody. This kid's a nobody. And like he was just coming up with a story. But anyways, that's what got him caught. They found the daughter with the kids in that shed. And like, yeah, it was a whole fucking thing. And
what the fuck?
Those kids, and it's crazy because like I said, they never came out of that shed or extra house, whatever. That they freaked out when they brought those kids out because they never saw sunlight.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they never saw sunlight.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, I think I heard of something like that, but this one was a couple. It was a couple that had their kids shackled to the bed.
Oh, there's a good number of those cases.
Yeah, but I mean, like, eventually one of the kids got free, went to the neighbors and told them, like, they were hungry and stuff like that. But they're all like, wait, who are you? And she's like, I'm one of the kids that were chained up inside the house. Wait, what do you mean chained up?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on here? Call the cops. Cops show up. They bring them back the kid, and the parents are like, oh, thank you very much. I mean, well, have we told you about leaving on your own? And the cop goes like, no, she told us everything. We need to check your house.
Yeah.
They found 9 kids that were shackled to their freaking beds, dude. Just like chained, like the cartoon chain where you see like the cuff and then like a big old chain.
Big ass fucking chain.
Yeah. Like they had them fucking shackled to their they were bunk beds.
Jesus.
But fucking 9 kids. How the fuck do you not notice that, dude?
Dude, the crazy thing is, how do you even maintain something like that?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Man, it's so crazy. Like, it's already a fucked up story, and I'm sorry to add on to it, but it's like, man, these people were fucking hustling.
Yeah.
These people were fucking hustling.
For real, dude. Like, it's crazy, man. But I mean, that's what I mean. That's one of the reasons I got me into the whole working out, because I want to be able to, like, if any fucking horrible thing happens, I want to be able to fucking like sprint fucking miles, fucking take down a motherfucker and bash his face if he even tries to hurt my kids.
Yeah, but people carry guns.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I do too, man. Yeah. That's why you got to go out there to the shooting range once in a while, get some training, make sure you know how to shoot between the eyes, that sort of thing. Yeah. But that's the world today, man. That's the world. That's why you got to be prepared for it. You're not prepared for a world as it should be. You're prepared for a world as it is.
That's a good saying. Yeah. You should probably mark that down for someone who steals it.
Yeah, well, right now, I like people to understand what I'm saying. Most of the time, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying to myself. So.
Hey, that's me every day when I wake up. What am I doing? Why can't I just end it now?
What is life?
What is life? But I'd say that's it on this one. That's it for now. We've been on it for a bit. Longer, yeah, it's been a while.
No shit.
Pretty good for the first episode. But I'll lead us out. Thank you for listening to the Bisons Lounge. And I'm Bison, aka Noe, and my co-host
Manuel, aka Devour Age.
And thanks for listening.